unwavering commitment of the humanity, which is the unwavering commitment to the humanity, the collective upliftment, and the pursuit of oneness that Kailasa has set forth a path to more inclusive, compassionate, and harmonious world for everyone. Kailasa has also received the juridical statehood, where Kailasa has received customary international rights as per the very Constitution of the United Nations Convention on Diplomatic and Consular Relations. Let us now watch an introductory video about this.
Nithyanandam, we will now be presenting the juridical statehood of the United States of Kailasa. The United Nations upholds Kailasa's privileges while recognizing Kailasa's inherited, unbroken, historical sovereign status as per the preamble of both the United Nations Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the United Nations Convention on Consular Relations, that declares that historical rules of customary international law continue to govern and confirms that all nations from ancient times have recognized privileges and immunities of sovereign entities of differing constitutional and social systems, and requires that a state shall not discriminate as between states, including a historical form of statehood. Kailasa is a sovereign subject of international law possessing distinctive attributes of juridical statehood derived from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam's inheritance of the unbroken succession and the revival of three ancient Hindu sovereign states, namely the kingdoms of Suryavamsha Surangi Samrajyam Sarvajñapitham, Suvarnapitha Swargapuram Samrajyam Sarvajñapitham, Shyamalapitha Sarvajñapitham, also the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajñapitham, and 17 Hindu sovereign ecclesiastical historical institutions that receive customary recognition by the United Nations as per the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. Further, in international law, the doctrine of continuity states that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in governmental forms, the extent of a country's territory, and measures taken during a military occupation do not negate the existence of the country. Therefore, just as any other state under international law, Kailasa shall be afforded its due diplomatic recognition, privileges, and immunities.
We saw the beautiful video on the juridical statehood of how Kailasa has received the recognition from the United Nations as per their very constitution. Now, we'll be entering into the next part of it, which is entering into the Om Awards ceremony. The Kailasa's Om Awards is the prestigious recognition that has been bestowed upon accomplished individuals from diverse backgrounds. It celebrates their sincere hard work and outstanding contributions towards global peace, harmony, and coexistence, aligning with the vision and the mission of Kailasa. So today we have with us Honorable Felix Okot Ogong, who is the distinguished dignitary who will be receiving the Kailasa Mitra Award today. Honorable Felix Okot Ogong is the Member of Parliament of Uganda, Member of Pan-African Parliament. Honorable Felix Okot Ogong is an Ugandan economist, entrepreneur, and politician. Today, we are going to be conferring the Kailasa Mitra Award to Honorable Okot Ogong. The Kailasa Mitra Award is conferred upon distinguished individuals who have established a long-lasting friendship with Kailasa. And Honorable Okot Ogong is the one who is going to be receiving this award, the Kailasa Mitra Award. Honorable Felix Okot Ogong is a member of Parliament of Uganda. He is also the member of the Pan-African Parliament. Honorable Felix Okot Ogong is an Ugandan economist, entrepreneur, and politician. He serves as an MP for the Dokolo County South and is an expert in key litigation. He also advocates actively for the free movement at the Pan-African level. He is the managing director of Felista Limited and a prominent NRM party member. Honorable Ogong is a notable figure in Uganda's political and economic spheres. And Honorable Okot Ogong has also been very supportive of Kailasa and has been a long-lasting friendship between Kailasa and Honorable Ogong. Today, Kailasa is honored to confer the distinguished award of the Kailasa Mitra Award to Honorable Okot Ogong, who is present with every one of us today. Now, I'd like to, with the grace and the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, I'd like to confer this award, the Kailasa Mitra Award, to Honorable Felix Okot Ogong. I'd like to request Honorable Ogong to share a few words for all of us who are sitting with us from over 140 countries around the world.
Thank you very much for honoring me. On behalf of my people and on behalf of Uganda, I accept the award from Kailasa. I dedicate this award to my late father, who stood firm to defend the rights of the minorities, defend the right of poor, to defend the rights of those whom society has not accorded them opportunities. I know freedom, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. I believe in freedom, I believe in justice, I believe in equality, and I believe in free movement of persons. Today, this award has excited me and encouraged me more to work for those whom society has not given them the privilege to enjoy their rights. And it has given me power now and encouraged me to work more to defend the rights of those who have not had the freedom, irrespective of race, color, creed, religion, area, geographical area. And I believe I will now work to ensure that I support all the rights that Kailasa is working for. I have been together with Kailasa, and I believe in the philosophy and the principles that Kailasa believe in. And together we shall collaborate to ensure that the Hinduism expands to the entire world, to ensure that they are free to practice their culture, their tradition, anywhere in the world. And I believe in the state of Kailasa, whereby everyone that believes in freedom, that believes in the principles of Kailasa, to join the community. And I will work with you. I will work with everyone. And I invite you to Uganda I'll also invite you to the Pan-African Parliament so that you come and we see how we can synergize, how we can collaborate with everyone so that we extend the goodwill of KAILASA to Africa, to Uganda, and the entire world. Thank you very much for the award. I accept it, and I'm greatly honored. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Ogong. It's really an honor from our end also to have you as the Mitra of KAILASA, as the well-wisher and as the long-lasting friendship with us. And we're also always grateful and honored to have acquaintance with Honorable Ogong, with yourself. And we're really looking forward to working along with you and with the same vision and values that you share. We also offer our respect, sincere respects to your late father, who embodied these principles and who actively participated and advocated for these principles. And those are the same things that you have shown with all of your support to KAILASA and each and every one of us. Once again, it's an honor for KAILASA to be part and to have a friendship with you. Thank you very much once again for accepting the KAILASA Om Award. So we'd now like to play a short video where we explain about KAILASA.
Around 5,000 years ago, at the end of Mahabharat War, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization consisted of 10,000 Hindu traditions, or sampradayas, that existed in 56 Hindu nations, 200 Hindu kingdoms, 1,700 Hindu provinces that covered more than 6 million kilometers square of Asia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, BHAGAVAN SRI NITHYANANDA PARAMASHIVAM, is the reviver of KAILASA, this ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. KAILASA is an unbroken cultural, religious, historical, civilizational, and sovereign continuation and revival of multiple of these historical Hindu sovereign states and Hindu ecclesiastical entities. The unbroken continuity of these ancient Hindu nations through KAILASA results in the legal recognition of KAILASA as per the international customary law, particularly the doctrine of continuity. The international law, the doctrine of continuity, implies that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations do not negate the existence of the country, do not affect the legal personality and international obligations of the country or state. The Vienna Convention on Succession of States in Respect of Treaties, 1978, addresses these principles of the doctrine of continuity as it outlines international law during situation of state succession or continuation. International law recognizes a state's legal personality by recognizing its identity. This perspective extends even during the period when the given state or country is annexed or occupied by a foreign power. Even in such cases, the legal personality of the state is considered to persist, enabling its subsequent re-establishment. Historical examples dating back to the 18th century include cases like Portugal and Genoa that were re-established after the Vienna Congress of 1815. More recent examples include countries such as Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, and Austria that were re-established after World War II. Even when a nation is deprived of its territory, the nation continues to exist. Its sovereignty and international legal personality continues to persist. The Dalai Lama, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet, exemplifies this principle. In 1959, the Dalai Lama was exiled and forced to flee. Despite the challenges faced, the Dalai Lama continues to advocate for the preservation of Tibetan culture and garners worldwide support for Tibetan autonomy on the global stage. Similarly, from 1309 to 1376, the Pope of Catholicism had been in exile in Avignon. Despite this, he was recognized as the head of state as well as head of the church and given full privileges of the position after their return to Rome. Even in 1861, much of the papal territories had been lost, leaving the Pope with no sovereign territory other than the papal residence and related buildings. Yet his temporal powers were still acknowledged. He was recognized as a head of state, and later, the Lateran Treaty of 1929 formally re-established papal sovereignty over the Vatican City. The Sovereign Order of Malta further exemplifies this principle, retaining international recognition as a sovereign entity despite the permanent loss of their territory upon Napoleon's invasion in June 1798. Despite such permanent loss of territory, the sovereignty and the international legal personality of the Sovereign Order of Malta continue to persist. Much later in 1894, the order settled in Rome and acquired two properties, the Magistral Palace and the Magistral Villa that received extraterritorial status. Today, the order maintains diplomatic relations with 112 countries, issues its own diplomatic passports, currency, stamps, and vehicle registration plates, and has been granted observer status in the United Nations. All these examples of state re-establishment illustrate the principle of continuity of states, as per international law, that a state's legal personality persists over time. A nation continues to exist even after a complete loss of territory. A far more striking example is of the oceanic countries, which are under the threat of their entire nation being drowned and submerged due to rising sea levels owing to global warming. In response to such existential threat of climate change, Pacific Island nations, including Tuvalu, have enacted constitutional amendments and made international declarations affirming that their nation and their sovereign rights will continue to persist, despite their entire territory being lost to the sea. This proactive stance is highlighted in the Constitution of Tuvalu Act 2023 and the Pacific Islands Forum Declaration of 2021. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, BHAGAVAN SRI NITHYANANDA PARAMASHIVAM, through the line of succession is the present 203rd Emperor of the Hindu Sovereign Kingdom of Surangi Samrajya. He was crowned on the 31st of December 2004 at the age of 26. Thus, by very same principles of the doctrine of continuity, through which the international legal personality of Portugal, Genoa, Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, Austria, Vatican, Tibet, Sovereign Order of Malta, and several other nations has been recognized despite having undergone a period of exile, annexation, occupation by a foreign power, or despite loss of territory. The SPH Nityananda Paramashivam, through well-established legal and historical facts about the Hindu sovereign state of the Surangi Samrajyam, derives all sovereign rights and powers of the royal lineage of the Surangi Samrajyam as its 203rd sovereign emperor, from his inheritance and continuation of the unbroken succession of the kingdom of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam Sarvanapitha. Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, through unification with 20 other sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical, historical entities, became part of the United States of Kailasa, which thus became a sovereign, independent juridical state, with the SPH Nityananda Paramashivam as the sovereign. Just as how the oceanic nations like Tuvalu have safeguarded their sovereignty from the existential threat of total submersion by amending their constitution and asserting that their sovereignty will persist regardless of the loss of their territory, KAILASA, which is a sovereign continuation of 21 sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical historical entities, is also reviving and continuing the Kumari Kandam Hindu nations that got submerged. As per the doctrine of continuity, these facts imply that the Kailasa's statehood is recognized by international law and manifests as a natural outcome of well-established historical legal facts. Become part of this revival of the Hindu nation. Share your time, talent, and treasure to Kailasa, the world's first nations for Hindus. Sign up as a citizen.
Welcome back. We saw the beautiful video about how Kailasa has been established and the legal basis as how Kailasa has organized itself as a Hindu nation, the first nation for Hindus today. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all our guests of honors who have joined in today from various countries, the statesmen, and the various dignitaries, starting with Honorable Miles Sampa, the member of National Assembly of Zambia, the president of the Patriotic Front, who is also the member of the Pan-African Parliament from the Republic of Zambia. Thank you very much for joining in today. It's an honor to have you today with us. Next, we also have Honorable Francis Xavier Kojo Soso, who is the member of Parliament from Medina constituency from Accra, Ghana, from the Republic of Ghana. Honorable, it's an honor to have you along with us today. I'd like to welcome you for joining us today for this auspicious occasion. Next, joining us, we have Ms. Hazel Kapeta, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Patriotic Front from the Republic of Zambia. Thank you very much, Ms. Hazel, for joining us. It's an honor to have you with us today. Next, we have Ms. John Brown, Chartered Accountant, who is from Jamaica. Thank you very much for joining us today. We also have with us Mr. Achilles Hiza, who is the Secretary for Health and Education from the Hoima City Council from the Republic of Uganda. I'd like to once again invite and welcome every one of you for joining us today. It's an honor and pleasure to have each and every one of you joining us today. Thank you very much for joining in for the auspicious celebrations of Krishna Janmashtami.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashhivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. After enduring centuries of persecution, loss of Hindu sovereignty, challenges to Hindu human rights and development, the customary recognition of Kailasa as a sovereign entity by the United Nations marks a significant restoration and acknowledgement of Swarajya, the self-determination of enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The United Nations recognition of Kailasa lies in two important aspects of international law. First, the United Nations Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, VCDR, and second, the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations, the VCCR. These conventions are vital because they establish that the traditional rules of customary international law continue to influence the relationships between states.